This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of June 1st, 2020. Last week I said the political is personal, and boy, did that become true. And does that continue to ring true for this week? No, things aren't going to just slide back into comfort. I'm sorry to say we are getting pushed, nudged, shoved in the back, shoved in the shoulders, shoved up the whatever you want to say, to become clear with ourselves about what do you value? What is important to you? What do you value? It is time to put those values in action. Possibly symbolic action, possibly action on behalf of someone who cannot fight for his or herself, possibly for a greater good, possibly for reasons that may not be at all what they appear. Tremendous amount of murkiness, lots of activity. Now, we've had a sensation for some time of time hanging in the air, of a lot of things being held in suspense. We've all been living out the tarot card of the Hanged Man in some way, and that doesn't go away, but we also get fires lit within us. There are 2 squares to Mars this week. Squares demand action. Mars is the planet of action. I call him the cosmic first responder, their action hero. He's the god of war. He's also how we push ourselves forward, a motivating impulse. At the beginning of the week, Venus, who rules what we value, has a get-going moment with him. That's exact on the 2nd. And then as we slide toward the weekend, the Sun has the same get-going moment with him. And in between, the Sun and Venus fuse. Venus is in Gemini, which is a very chatty, sociable sign. It's an influence that has us darting here and there and entertaining many things and maybe having some difficulty maintaining focus and attention. Venus is retrograde in Gemini, so there's a lot of stuff from the past coming back up. From the past, people from the past, projects, creativity issues. I find it very weird that so much of what is going on now seems to resonate with the summer of 1968. I will leave it to other astrologers to take the time to actually look at what is going on now. I will simply say that Uranus and Pluto were still roughly conjunct at that point, and Neptune is currently in an action-demanding aspect to that. So maybe there is something here about illusions. There is definitely something about social justice, about notions of race, notions of class. And by that, I don't mean elegance. I mean gradations in economic and social status. Let's add to that Jupiter and Pluto are moving back into a conjunction. It'll be exact at the end of June, but effectively we are feeling it again now, and this is deepening cracks. It is amplifying structural collapse, institutional collapse, the exposure of rot and corruption. And it's also, for each of us individually, giving us the possibility to go even deeper in rewriting, in restructuring, in re-outfitting our own personal foundations, our infrastructure, our relationship to our ancestral lineage, our societal institutions and patterns, family systems, all of the things that have been undergoing a protracted process of metamorphosis. And this ties back to some form of containment or structure that was put on our ongoing change process at the beginning of January. The Phoenix moment that occurred when Saturn and Pluto conjoined on January 12th. So the week gives us a very strong, relentless, unavoidable taste of many of the issues that will be swirling around us all month, There are personal parallels somehow to everything that you are witnessing out in the world. You are being challenged to live out your values, to put them to action. You're being challenged to express what really has meaning to you, to connect with people who are important to you, to share ideas that express your own values. There's a creativity element to this. There's a spiritual element to this. It does not all have to be high-level drama and terror and divisiveness and violence. You don't have to be experiencing that personally. There are other ways this is showing itself in your life. And all of this cluster is ushering in the next big eclipse cycle that starts with the full moon this week on the 5th, which is in the middle degrees of Sagittarius. The Gemini-Sagittarius eclipses overlap with the wrap-up of the Cancer-Capricorn eclipses we've been undergoing for the past 2 years. The Gemini-Sagittarius eclipses start with one that brings stuff to a huge crescendo and closes the door on a lot of things. Both types of eclipses send things out, but a lunar eclipse has a very strong chapter-ending, era-ending vibe to it. Gemini and Sagittarius deal with information, with thoughts, with mindset, with what we decide is true about reality based on all the little bits of data that we get and how we broadcast it. So the media, publicity, social media platforms, theories, news, fake news, what's right, who's lying, who's not lying, the role of legalities, the legal system, the political system, prejudice, racism, you throw it all in there. Everybody has their own point of view. Everyone has their own frame of reference. Everyone has their own access to different information sources. Everyone has things that are always running through your mind. The Sagittarius full moon is going to close out a lot of things. There will be an epidemic of hitting the delete button, of hiding posts, of unfriending people, of blocking people, of turning off the news, of clearing your mind, of starting to become much more focused on what are your thoughts and what's being fed to you, what are your thoughts and what is manipulating you. Because Neptune is in the middle of this full moon, and who knows what's true and what's not true. This is a real strong I am the great and powerful Oz moment with Toto tugging at the curtain and a guy wielding levers saying, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. This has personal resonance for you, all right? I want to really encourage you to look at what this means for you and to look at what is happening nationally, collectively, globally as a bigger expression of a process that you're undergoing as well. Sagittarius loves expansiveness and the great outdoors. Heading out into nature is an ideal antidote to all of this. Empty yourself, silence yourself, be much more mindful of your own information streams, be incredibly mindful of the nature of the chatter that goes through your head all the time and what you do with that chatter, what it says about what you believe about life, about the world. And this is a moment of changing that, emptying that. I encourage you to monitor your reaction to the things that happen in your world and in the outside world with the perspective of what does it say about what I believe, and give yourself permission to update what you believe. Homing thought of the week. I have the power to write a news story. Song of the week, Kick It Into Gear by Jennifer Page. And the image of the week, I have two, releasing an updated edition of a textbook and something I actually saw in my high school advanced placement English class when one of my classmates in personal show and tell displayed a small glass bottle and said it represented her and that she was pouring out her previous definition of herself and emptying that bottle so that the new and current version of her could flow in. I have lots of goodies for you this week. Check in the box below for links to all of them. I have an article, Hit the Mute Button, which gives you some specific tips for how you can weave nature into regaining some sanity. My Reclaiming Your Energy talk, which is available as a free download in the shop at my site. A course coming in June called Reclaiming Your Energy, Tools and Techniques, which will outfit you with a whole bunch of ways to clear out your energy, protect it, and give other people their stuff back. And my forecast for the month of June, all of which are available at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. The forecast for the Sagittarius full moon lunar eclipse will be up by Wednesday or Thursday at my site and also on my YouTube channel, which is Professional Aquarian. I'm Kathy Beal, a professional astrologer with more than 30 years experience. You'll find lots of lively conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited in the group The Astro-Insight Lounge. Lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Beal, including a discussion of the gear shift between the two eclipse families. And I am deeply, deeply grateful to the people who are supporting my work there and keeping these forecasts available to the rest of you. You'll find me on Instagram at @KABeal, and again, YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Tie your grounding cords down, clean out your energy, be safe, be well. Talk to you next week.